僕を連れて染み込んでしまう間に見えないはまず紙一重とかどうせがないからさ。ああでもずっと濡れていて気づかんことしてしまうことまだ気づいてなかった。かざして逃げまといたい。夜を連れて染み込んでしまう間に見えないままやられちゃうとかどうにもできないからさ。話せないでもっと連れていて気づかんことしてしまうことまだ気づいてなかった。染み込んでしまう間に見えないはまず紙一重とかどうせがないからさ。ああではずっと濡れていて気づかんことしてしまうことずっと気づけなかった。僕を連れてって染み込んでしまう間に見えないままやられちゃうとかどうにもできないからさ。話せないでもっと連れていて気づかなくしてしまうこと今気づきたかった。
Welcome back to Cryptic Zoo Smite League, and today we are back with some Amazon games, and joining me is going to be Dirty Bubble. Bubble, how you doing today?
I'm doing
Huge.
I'm doing well.
Ma-
How about you, Charlie? It seems you're a
I'm
little
not.
sick.
I'm a little sick. But I sickness or not, I will not stay away from this Amazon division. And today we are doing Food Fighters versus the um
Daddy's Daycare, Daddy's
Daddy
Daycare.
Daycare. Daddy Daycare, yes. Uh,
What are their
so
team names, Charlie?
it's the Food Fighters and Daddy Daycare.
It's the Kappas versus I think the Succubi?
Cap- okay. Kappas versus Secubai. Okay, yes. All right. So obviously, this is your org. So I feel like you're gonna have a little bias of
No
who
bias. I hate my org.
you hate your org. Well, that's still bias.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, like that's still bias, even if you like or dislike it. But um, this is gonna be. I think this is gonna be a very fun set. Week ones are always really fun to watch. You really get to see who's going to be the future best team, who's going to kind of go into this with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, who's going to look to improve. And what are you expecting to see today with a few meta shakeups happening recently?
Well, uh, what do you mean by few meta shakeups? I think the meta's been relatively the
I feel
same
like I feel
for
like
the
the ADC and the mid pool have really the two backliners have been really um their metas have been slowly changing, especially because beads and Aegis together are disabled. So I feel like, do you think teams will be prioritizing gods who are going to utilize not having one of those defensive relics, or do you think that it's going to be a more of the same?
Well, I say if you don't ban Vulcan, you better pick him because if I can't beads or I can't Aegis a full damage Vulcan ult, max range ult, I think I'm just dead. Um, and the team fight's over. So I say Vulcan should be heavily prioritized.
Especially with a lot of the soul laners being prioritized right now, are very like setup oriented. You have characters like Guan, you have characters like Cthulhu who are going to really set up for this Vulcan ult to do as much as it possibly can. So we see Hades first band, not really surprising at this point. This god has kind of just been taking over the soul lane, just the soul lane bully. Um, what are you expecting
Just
to
saying,
see?
Charlie. The Hades is in and out. Every other god is McDonald's, bro. Hades out here bullying on these children, and you can go full damage and still be unkillable. So we hate that.
You hog band, and on that topic, I've never had an amount because super south and all that kind of stuff. So, what's it like? What give me the in and out experience.
Well, you see, what I've heard is that you have to first take a jet to go to the Palace of In and Out, and then you order with like Monopoly money, and then you get
Is it
the
like
best burger ever.
is it like 500s or is it like 100s? And then Daji, speaking of a 500 in Monopoly, Daji, this character is just so oppressive in a team fight. And then we see Vulcan banned from this order side, and then we see Guan banned on the other side. Is there anything that you think this order side is playing for in first pick, or
Well, they obviously didn't want the Vulcan because they banned it themselves, which makes it's kind of weird though that they banned the Dodgy. Usually ban Dodgy, just annoying character, really good top three ban anyways. But usually a team who bans Dodgy is the one who doesn't think they're gonna get the Vulcan because a
Mhm.
Dodgy ban opens up a lot of picks, but mostly this Vulcan.
Yeah, the setup potential is really nuts with this. And also, Daji and the Vulcan is just an annoying matchup for the Vulcan as well. So I think this Food Fighters draft is
And
going to be interesting how they develop, seeing as
Kappas,
they
but get it.
Kappas, Food Fighters. It's, two sides of the same coin if you really think about it. Thor being banned out. Very interested to see what they first pick here. There's a lot of good options. Let's say this Kefri. This Kefri is going to be a character that's really going to be influential to this team fights and doesn't really tell you anything about their draft. and then we see a Cupid on the other side. What's your thoughts on
hate
Cupid right now?
I hate Cupid. You can't really pick Cupid with some of these. You can't pick Cupid so early when there's like you have picks like the Pele. You have Neja open still. I think just
Right.
automatically dump Cupid. You also got Cernanos, who Cupid does well in the lane, but Cernanos just out pressures
The
the Cupid.
Pele said, okay, so they listed you something, Bubble, because Pele Cernados getting locked in. I think this is just a kill Cupid top 3. I don't think any god here doesn't kill a Cupid well.
Capri doesn't.
I think this
well. You just get ulted by the Cupid and then you die.
You shall not pass.
Giannis lock in.
To my portals, that is.
Oh.
What are your thoughts on the Giannis lock in? What?
Well, he's a mage.
Okay. What does he bring to this Succubi
Mobility.
What does he not bring to the Succubi draft?
Team fight. Consistent damage. Because all he can do is 2 most of the time. Then he has to run away for 5 minutes.
And I think that even with this Kappa's comp, I'm not in love with this Giannis pick. I think that Pele is going to have a pretty good time running you down. Sononos is going to be able to keep you in there with his triple. Same with Kefri, just being able to with abduct. I think this Giannis is a little bit of a reach, especially when these characters
I'm going to ask you a question, Charlie. Though, if you think he didn't pick Giannis there, do you think they would have banned it?
No, never.
I agree.
Yeah, it's
stuff with like a Poseidon open who is not good unless Aegis is banned. Oh wait, Aegis is banned.
Aegis is banned. Yeah, Baba that was open. MILF. I feel like this, the Succubi bans is just showing us all the mages they could have picked.
Too many mage bans with Double Hunter is really meta. I don't know. The MILF one is weird to me.
I think the Morrigan is going to be a character you want to ban out. I think that especially with this draft, it's just that character just makes it so it's so hard to team fight into. We see a Kali getting covered, locked in now. A little bit more late game because you have the Cabrakan to get you through the other game, but so far a lot of this Succubi draft is centered all around that mid to late game. Cthulhu, AMC Hover.
I would rather see the Morgan on the Zorder side, just because Double Pele is really great early, and you can always just transform to Cthulhu. But I guess you pick and I think that the Cthulhu. I guess Giannis does terrible in Cthulhu. So.
I don't want to talk about this Cthulhu anymore, or this AMC. I want to talk about this Vestet. Okay, this Vestet is a pick. I don't think it's a good pick. I think that this Bastet, I feel like if you're picking Bastet solo, you're kind of playing for that mid game, looking to out pressure just a little bit in solo, but you're looking for picking people off. I don't know if you pick anyone off on this.
Well, you can ult the CERN, and then Kepri and AMC. Actually, you can pick some people off here. The issue is though they have a Kepri. So if you pick somebody off, I think the Bastet
and then the re-engage so good
are kind of bad into this Kepri because Kepri kind of ruins their lives. I'm not gonna lie.
Exactly. So we see Skull actually picking up this AMC to go into mid lane. Don't think that was ever really in the cards. Even with CERN being a really good prevalent mid laner, I think AMC just does the job a little bit better. Anything noteworthy about build so far? Anything you're kind of that's not right?
Bastet build. I think you usually want to go. I don't mind the bluestone necessarily, but I think you usually want to go Transcendence first to get that stack, just because Soldier is way easier to stack after you build it. Kali went very early get pressure build on a Kali, which means he has to get active early, or then he should have just went the other build because he'll just be naturally worse. As you see here, our production crew has F10 as labeled equals as their third person toggle.
Huge, massive cast. But I agree. I think I would have really preferred to see the other build, seeing as I feel like this Succubi draft are already like can get through the early game with not a whole lot of issue. The only early game menace on this Kappa's draft is this Pele. But out of like the lanes, you're not really like looking to fight until this. You're going to be able to run an AMC down very well, even if there's a Kep free there. You're able to run this backline down, but you just have to get there. So I would have probably preferred to see a more later game build, especially because I think that's where a lot of these fights are going to explode.
I don't know, man. Me and Gary, the jungler for the food fighters, we were talking about this the other day, and we actually both hate ganking AMCs because, yeah, he's easy to gank if he's not paying attention. He knows you're there. He's one of the carries that can actually just kill you. He always has the option to just kill you, and me and Gary just hate that.
Do you think that he'll be able? And then production going to we're had a little technical difficulties, but we'll be getting back into it. And while I still have you here, Bubble, for the Kali AMC dive, like the Kali versus AMC, do you think that the Kali is still able to outlive a lot of what AMC has, or like, do you think?
Issue is the Kali getting on top of the AMC with a Capri. So,
Mhm.
correct me if I'm wrong here. I don't think the ultimate is slow immune in the Kali ult. But also,
I think it's root and knock immune.
yes,
I want to say it's slow immune
it may be. I could be wrong, but
because I
decide.
know it. Yeah, because I know like
No, it ain't
polymorph.
cripple immune though, and a lot of times the AMC stinger is just gonna stinger you and then slow you, and then you're gonna hit all. But by that point, the AMC's just faster than you. He's got hives down. He out here. He has a B, and then even worse, there's a bug behind him with an ult. I think this
It's a lot
Kali
of
pick is
bugs.
awful.
Yeah, I'm not in love with the Kali pick, especially because this backline for the Kappas are just able to run away so well. Like they're just able to sit at such a safe position, and if anyone ever enters that backline, you have Kepri there, you have certain polymorph there for you. You have Stinger, and then
You have
just
cripple.
dumping your kit.
You
Exactly.
have
Like there's
two
not.
cripples, a stinger, um, a Capri pull, a Capri res, a Capri root, Capri mitigations.
Mhm.
I think this collie's just gonna have a rough time. If
With
ever,
Kali and Bastet.
oh, not to mention the Bastet. I didn't even want to talk about that yet. But if Bastet jumps in, Capri plucks her. What's she gonna do? Like it's just she's just dead. Or if she gets crippled by the CERN or crippled by the AMC, what are they gonna? What is this Bastet gonna do? This is literally maybe the worst game to ever pick Bastet in ever.
I mean, whoever's doing this draft on Kappas is really they're using their noggin, they're using the brain to really meticulously plan out what the team fight's going to look like because your Pele Cthulhu dive is also just so much better than the other dive. So being able
I think
to
I think it's more has to do with the other team maybe not having a noggin. They may be like you ever see like a skeleton with rip its head off and just start talking with it. That's the other team right now, bro. And I know it's Halloween time, a couple weeks ago, but that's what I'm talking about. Maybe okay. Let's do more Thanksgiving relative. Uh, they're like turkeys.
they're like turkeys.
Yes.
Please give me more of an analogy than just they are like turkeys.
All right. So a turkey.
Give me anything more to
Okay,
work with.
so the kappas are like turkeys that are out in the wild, out and just gobbling around, while the succubi, their draft is kind of like the hand drawn turkeys with your hand, bro. Like I
Okay,
think
but no, but those they go hard though. They go so hard.
no, this
The
draft does
hand,
not go hard.
I don't know. Real life turkeys are not it though. They do not pass the vibe check. Like, I don't think I've ever looked at a real life turkey and been like, yeah, they're awesome. They're great.
Bro, actually, one time I was at a petting zoo and I actually got scared by a turkey when I was really young.
Yeah, the peacocks as well. Both of those
I was
two birds.
then so my father now makes it a yearly tradition to try to scare me with the frozen turkey at some point in my life.
All right, so we're going. We're back in game now. Both teams doing standard red speed start, looking to kind of contest that early totem or to just off the rip gank this mid laner. Do you think that these junglers go to solo side to secure that totem? Do you think that they just go mid, look for this early mid pressure to maybe get mid camps when they
I'm
spawn?
the Pele, I'm going totem side because I have a Cthulhu with a conduit gem. Actually, I don't have a Cthulhu with a conduit gem. Okay. But you should still be able to outpressure this Kali for totem control because Bastet's clear isn't the best either. So
Yeah, I think this Cthulhu will end up out clearing just based off of having those AoE autos, having a lot more of an ability to just fast clear the lane. We see that Pele does go for this totem while Kali
mid.
Kali is the mid. Beads come out, but they just managed to get out. Skull just a little bit too far up there, but still managed to get out, just costing the beads. Giannis, what's up
doing?
so far? Gary, I think that's a missed opportunity right there, but he doesn't have the 2 though. Doesn't have that, instant burst CC to kind of confirm that first blood. A little bit of fighting over totem. Kappa's managed to secure that for themselves.
Usha, no.
Kali coming over. Usha's in trouble. It's going to be this Kali's just slowly autoing him down. He walks towards the cavern instead of more so into his own jungle, and I think that's going to be first blood. First blood going to the Succubi.
Yeah, just a miscommunication. Both people in mid saw the Kali had left jungle. There's no reason for the duo lane to be up that far. Someone didn't tell someone something or it was ignored, so it's just that type of mistakes you're going to see in these lower division games.
Yeah, not always going to be the best. This Cthulhu so far getting a little bit of the better hand, and Gary, looking to get this blue invade, or maybe there's this gank. We see the blink onto the Bastet. One comes out.
Camera got flared.
It was ambitious. I liked it. It was ambitious. All right, we see this blue invade does come out. Kali currently on green, and that will just be a successful blue invade. And on this left-hand side of the map, we'll see more of the same. Just kind of.
Getting back to lane, bro.
I mean, you're slow. You're like level what? He died when he was level 2. Your movement speed ain't that high.
Maybe he'll be faster.
So we start to see just normal rotations. Interestingly enough, this Kali is a little bit farther ahead off this this early first blood assist. And do you think that we start to see that Kali swing her weight around going for this more early game build for this Crusher mannequins, or do you think that this Pele still has just the infinitely better early game?
I think Pele does just have an infinitely better early game, but since you went this build on Kali, as soon as you finish this Crusher, you need to go and get a kill somewhere. Okay, you should be 5 at the point. You need to make value, or you just, I think, wasted your build path.
Yeah, and we start to see exactly what you wanted to get active, and Penguin Pimp falls down over on that solo side. Not a whole lot up for this Kali to get, but you start to see this Kali start to have her impact on the map. Just even though that she's maybe half level behind of Gary at this point, and if we're talking about active junglers, Gary's going to go in, keep a dash, avoiding the Cernunnos ult. They're both on separate targets, though. Kabrakan should go down, and Cupid should be able to get out, giving up the beads to do so. Really good gank by Gary there, even if it was just a tiny bit awkward that they go on separate targets. And Giannis looks like
ulted something. I don't know what.
I would have to assume to get out.
I assume he got plucked by Kevin or something.
That would. I mean, you don't want to give up your beads, your ult, smaller cooldown. You're not using your ult a whole lot early game. I'm very okay with that, but It also just means that this Giannis probably needs to be positioned a little bit more farther back in a safer spot, making sure that every
no wards on the map.
yeah, which is it's a scary sight if you're this Succubi team because this Pele is about to get Jotuns or Crusher. Like you're gonna really be feeling this early game Pele presence because for this Kappa's draft, that's the early game right there is this Pele. So, and if you don't start to get ahead now, I don't think you're getting ahead late with this double Hunter, Cthulhu, Kepri draft. So I think Food Fighters just a little bit behind in gold, about 500. That's just first blood at that point. But I think this is where we'll start to see maybe some gold leads getting breaking off. Great Kabrakan wall to keep Majin locked in there at the back. Kefri ult comes out to on himself, revives himself, but Skull doesn't have any mana. And that'll just be Majin going down for the Kefri's second death. And we start to see that this Ned 3-3 started to prioritize. Hold that thought. The Wishy brings Penguin Pin back, forced into the ultimate, and just able to get out. I think that across the board, this Succubi draft is just playing their comp very well. They're forcing these resources out, making it so that they can go and invade stuff like the Scorpion, maybe set up for an early gold free. And as we see on the other side of the map, Pele going on to Cupid for this gank and results in a kill. Death the King just a little bit too far up there. Just not any ward vision like for this Pele. Didn't know that she was coming. It's just going to be a very scary game for this Succubi team. And then
yeah, you have to have wards as a Cupid. This Pele is just gonna be play farmer Dam, and you're about to be a corn crop if you just don't have enough wardage for this Pele as a Cupid, because Pele kind of just farms the Cupid if you're not ready for it, and clearly Death the King was just not ready for it.
Where do you get your analogies from?
Huh? How about Cupid all comes out?
Cupid all comes out, but I was more asking, where do you get your analogies from? I feel like you just kind of spawn them out of existence.
Aren't all words just spawned out of existence?
Yes and no. Anyways, we see a 4-man rotation onto Gundar. Not any ward vision though for Gundar, and he's gonna get caught up. Blink comes out for the Kali beats, come out for Sononos, ult dropped, gets 2 cab walls come out, and the Tremble is still very good. Kali slowly whittling him down, and Cabra will pick up the kill. A little bit of a later rotation.
This jungler, I think. Oh, but Skull's going to get the back, so I'm not gonna say that. That was a nice gank for them, but it took 4 people to kill this CERN, and you just lose you should lose all your backs for it, because AMC decided he just wanted one of them. So
yeah, they do get first obelisk control, which is nice. Gets a little bit of a chunk of change in their pockets. Really starts to push out this gold lead a little bit further. It's about 1k, actually 2k gold up now, and I think this is where you start to see that this early game comp is starting to really
ambitious Giannis ult.
very ambitious. And
what is Blue the Dumbo doing here? He's being a Dumbo.
Well, just looking to make a play onto this right side of the map. I mean, this Cthulhu is just going to take a little bit to get online. Really, you gotta shut this Cthulhu down, or you don't shut the Cthulhu down at all. And we'll start to see just, going back to farming now. Each team wants to get to late game, but this Chaos side draft needs to be fighting now, and I think they're doing a very good job at that. So I would like to see them, maybe, look for a Gold Fury. And speaking of looking for, Gary on this left side, looking for another gank onto this Cupid. Cupid dash comes out, Cupid ult comes out, Pele ults in, and that'll just be another kill for Gary. 3-0 reads the Kappa jungler.
I think that's another result of him not warding properly. He has one ward and it's way too close to the lane. You're not gonna see it
just
in time.
not deep enough. Like, you have Oracle control, but you could, if you just put that ward just above the gold tree, I think that's a perfect spot to where you always see if they're pathing aggressively like that, and you put one, below the gold tree so that you can see if they're pathing a bit more, safer, a bit more passively. Wishy manages to get the blue invade. And then just going. And oh, Discord is not my best friend at the moment.
Fire giant has arrived.
It's mine though, as Cthulhu. Why is there 4 people over here?
I mean,
like,
Pyro's
this
supposed
should
to be up.
Yeah, but
Pyro's
this should be auto gold call now.
Yes, like, yeah, I mean, Wishy should be calling out saying, "Hey, yo, they're all over here. You know, slam the Gold Fury." And unluckily, that just doesn't happen for them. So this Pyro just goes down uncontested, shrinks that gold lead down to a 1k gold lead. But Cabrewalls come out looking to get Skull. Skull's speeds come out. Trapped in Tremors is Kali whittling them down. Kepri ult comes out. Good Kepri ult. Kali job is just off the mark. Kali ult comes out, and that'll be a disengage from the Succubi team. Giannis ult comes in though. Does not quite hit Skull, and really, you know, bit of a scary fight there for a bit for Kappas, but still managed to get out with their lives. Also managed to take down this Trebuchet to make sure that the tier 1 tower is still in a good spot and everything.
Yeah, and I think Majin also falls into the trap of being way too focused on hitting the perfect Kepriel. I think you just ult earlier. He just gets out sooner, and it's like quicker, and like so you just see him for the majority of that fight just staring at Skull instead of throwing his 2 or his root or his like 1.
Exactly, and just kind of watching the fight. Just, you know, having your spectator cam just be in your support as well. I do want to ask though, you know, as you know, I'm not a jungler. What do you think this Kali is going into? Do you think this is like a Kins, Xe? What's happening over here?
My guess would be an Xe. But either one is fine. It just depends on who your target's gonna be. If you think you're gonna be killing this Kepri Cthulhu a lot, just go for the go for Kins. But well, there you go.
Gonna be a Kins coming out. You know, and if you were in this Kali's shoes going this build, would you rather have the Xe or the Kins?
Honestly, I think it's dealer's choice. Maybe I go the Xe, but
And then
I guess
Dumbo looking to get caught out actually. Huge talking comes up from Pele. Just managed to get out though due to Giannis portal. Almost a very scary situation, but now Crazy will be blinking onto Gundar. Ult comes out. And then just Pele re-engaged. Kali ult is good, making sure that Gundar has to go down, but unfortunately Crazy still goes down. The Cupid dash is coming in, and nothing quite keeps Stern in, and that'll just be a 1-for-0 trade. But the fight's not done yet. Skull is now in the fight. Missed Stinger, unfortunately. And I don't think they kill this Kabrakan without Stinger. Cupid ult comes out to keep his support alive. And now, this is just the fight of the re-engagements. Giannis getting trapped on the purple buff a little bit, but this Succubi team is now pushing up. Bastet jumping in. Ult will be on the mark of the Skull. Kepri ult is good. Kepri ult is great,
That's
actually.
what I mean. That's just ult him, man. That's all you gotta do. You don't have to wait for the perfect time. Just ult him. Either gets out, or you just pick him up.
Exactly.
I think
now
Penguin Pimp is playing here by not getting the entire enemy jungle.
Yeah, like, you know, you should be running at back camps now. You know, blue just came up, you know, going for the blue invade. We start to see a little bit of a kerfuffle. Blue team actually steals it. It seems to be probably with Bramble Blast, and that is a huge Gold Fairy steal if they're able to get out. Penguin, not sure why he's here, if I'm gonna be perfectly candid.
Well, you see, he's just out for a stroll, walking his pet lobster.
Cypher, can you do me a favor? Can you check Golden Hand for me right quick? Skull actually picking up.
Kills Dumbo.
Never mind. I don't even care about the Golden Hand, but okay, Golden Hand. So we have 1,600 gold.
Shut up, Charlie. A fight's going on. Gary
is going
kills
on.
Wishy.
Gary, you know, just making it look easy on this Pele. Going to look down, run down Crazy, and Majin picking up on the blue buff that Penguin originally started. Crazy should not be back up here. You know, even if your support's, you know, close by, you're Kali at such low health. See, mostly everyone returning to their lanes, just kind of going back to the status quo as this another obelisk is spawning in. So, do you going into this draft, okay, did you expect the gold lead to be as even as it currently is for these two teams?
If you're red team, you're hoping it wouldn't be that even because this team on the left just scales a little bit just slightly harder than this team on the right.
Also, personal gripe here. I think Penguin needs to be like backing like anytime soon. Like you're sitting on such a huge power spike if you're able to get this contagion online and even start something like a mana cores. Just getting that extra little bit of defense to get you to that late game quicker. Kind of just taking a little bit of poke. We see Gary on this right side of the jungle, but not quite wanting to look over to this solo side of the map. Actually, a huge grouping in mid. Skull's really pushed up. No wards on the map, and I think this is going to be a moment where Skull just happens to be the bullet, but Gary's coming in from behind, looking to pick off Dumbo. Skull does go down. Dumbo initiated on, but Gary forced to back off with his mid laner dying. Kali coming back in, but Gundar rotation wards the Kali off. We say Yasuo hit both of them, and this is a very scary situation. The Yasuo actually fighting a perfect bridge just to catch up to Gary. And Cabracken just on the mark. Cabracken blink comes out. Kali jump comes out, manages to get Gary, and then Gundar still gets caught out based off that Cupid ult. And that's a huge fight for Sunny Bai.
Terrible by all the Kappas there. Skulls get caught way too far up. Gary gets caught trying to help him. Then Gundar gets caught trying to help Gary, and then Gundar
like a chain reaction. It's just a chain reaction of awful.
There's some solace. This Kali can't buy a last hit. This Cabracken keeps stealing last hits. Go lie.
But this Pyromancer does go down. Kepri still I play. I don't know why I was even fearing it. Really.
I don't know how much damage you think Kepri is.
But I couldn't see the health bar. And we actually see
huge Cthulhu.
Huge Cthulhu ult. Good reinitiation off of this happens.
Because he beat
Skull's beats get forced out. They need to get this Kali off Skull right now, but looking to do that successfully, but this fight is still going on. Come on, Kepri. No, Skull manages to pick up the kill.
This is what I meant by the stinger.
But the Cupid rotation.
That Kali could not jump out because she had a stinger on her.
Exactly. Just this draft from Kappas is just so good at just locking down a Kali. Like, it makes me really question. Or Bastet.
Honest.
Or just anyone. It's just there's a reason that this kind of draft is being favored a lot right now. This double hunter with Kepri or Cthulhu, just kind of.
Charlie or Kepri's head broken.
Oh yeah, no, that has to be. I know there's like a Kepri bug where he'll just kind of be permanently in his 2 animation, but we start to see a little bit of a initiation on Wishy. Portal comes out, Cabra goes through.
Majin Busha is showing that he's got premonition and hit someone with the root through the portal.
Wishy ult off the mark, and we start to see a little bit of a grouping around what looks like not a whole
reason. No one's gonna
lot here.
there.
Yeah, maybe the most you get from here is like I feel like this fight should just be on the other side of the map. You look to possibly pick off someone like Death or
Cupid's over here. What is Cupid doing here?
A whole item down, this Cupid is right at the moment. He just now buys the Silver Branch, but you have to imagine he was sitting on so much gold there. Even Gundar is 2k gold. Like, all these hunters are just staying out. They're perfectly happy with just pushing the limits of how far they can go out. But we start to see this Kappa's draft start to make a mass positioning towards this Gold Fury off its spawn, but Succubi look to not be giving this up for free. We see the Cabracken, Kali, and Cupid rotating over here. Pimp a little bit far up, but I think this is a perfect spot for Pimp to be at the moment. This Cthulhu is just so tanky with this build. But we start to see these backliners still manage the farming waves, not wasting their time around this Gold Fury against
Cthulhu. It does 0 damage.
There's not a whole lot comes off of it.
Think about this Cthulhu, no one's going to kill him besides his Kali because his Cupid has opted not to go Kins for whatever reason.
Yeah, looking for this Grit build, which I think is a huge mistake. It's just, you have Cthulhu and, a diving. You need something to kill this Cthulhu.
They know she's there.
But Death the King looked at by the Cthulhu. Meanwhile, the Kali is looking for backline, but
And no one's gonna
looking-
kill
not really
Penguin
finding
because
anything.
no one's got kids.
Exactly. A lot of damage taken onto Gary, but it just doesn't matter when Goondar's just coming up
There you
huge with this
go.
Cthulhu.
Majin
Huge
Boocha.
Capri ult.
He's going Super
These Capri
Saiyan
ults-
with that move.
I will say, okay, Goondar is just, he's just in there. He's just
He's
that
a
guy.
goon. How do you ever
just
beat
that guy.
They got a pimp, a Majin, and a goon on their team. Like,
What is a Majin?
you know, have you ever seen Dragon Ball Z, bro? They have
I
that
have
M
not.
on their head, bro. Oh, I ain't seen it, but I know what it is.
I don't.
You know that pink dude in Dragon Ball Z, bro?
Yeah.
That pink dude, that's Majin, bro.
Oh, okay. The Kirby knockoff.
No.
Anyways, you start to see these towers go down, and this team fight from Kappa is just so hard to beat. Like, you have, Pimp and Gary just, diving. You have Skull, Gundar, and Majin in the backline just being so annoying. But this Kali just whittling down Penguin Pimp's health bar. This Kin's, showing why this item is so good at threading him. But we see Gary rotate over as this Pele goes into the ultimate.
There's no way this this has to be a
Discord
spectator
diffing me
focus.
once again.
There's no way that Pele didn't have ult there. Or not Pele, Kali.
I mean, well, I saw it was their Kali ult.
Alright. But yeah, she used ult. Okay. It had to be a spectator. Okay. But honestly, I think Gundar should have swapped his build to the crit build. If you look at the other team, like this Kabraken's not that tanky right now. Bastet has 0 defense. Like, I think you just get way more value out of the crit build. I think the ADC should honestly swap.
Yeah, like it's. Yeah, especially with this AMC, like this AMC's like even though he doesn't have a whole lot of attack speed, he's still gonna be pumped bananas with these hives, and I think that you can afford to go something like a crit build because you kind of have your yin and your yang. You have your pen and your crit both in one build, or both in the same team, and we start to see a little bit of a mass position by the Seki by Fire, making sure that they're not just pulling it off the rip here, but. Nothing seems to be coming from it. Penguin actually staying back to make sure that they don't do Fire Giant themselves, but just going to be a dispersal of the team.
Penguin could stand here because who's gonna kill him?
Nothing. We actually see a late Fatalis coming out of Kali. What are your thoughts on Fatalis into this?
First of all, I think Fatalis is out of the game. All right, it's no longer existence. That's the item called Hasten Katana. Okay, the Hasten Katana, it's kind of...
I hope Penguin gets caught out here just because you're doing this. We start to see...
No, I think this Kali is going to be the one who gets caught out.
This Kali is so far deep. Gary's zoning off, wishing to make sure they can't quite help this Kali, but no...
On the Capri.
Not a whole lot of damage coming out quite yet for either side, but we see a huge fight break out here. Crazy just went from all the health to
Gary's
no
got
health
blocked.
instantly. Gary just whiffing the ult, unfortunately. And, Capriol is
Majin
good,
with
but
another huge Capriol.
he's back. Gary's just back in the thick of it, but we see this fight break out on two separate sides.
Do you call this a team fight? It's not a team fight.
It's a team war at
scuffle.
this point. We saw Gary really lazy back here. Bestek goes in, manages to get the 2 off. I think he's dead. I think
Yeah,
it's
Gary
such a lazy back, and he gets out.
Yeah, Majin
that's
also
such a
misses
lazy
the
back.
block. Skull didn't use Stinger. Like, there's no way this Bastet should have gotten out for that.
Exactly,
Gary
but
out here looking like the worst Gary, honestly, right now. With that lazy back.
yeah, just really unfortunate positioning by Gary. Just caught in the wrong situation, caught with his metaphorical pants down here, but these golden XP
Oh yeah, we had a pause during.
differences are just so huge. We did have a pause. I thought Discord was diffing once
Yeah, I
again.
thought something crash.
No, just a little bit of pause by the players here, but we see a 4-level lead coming out from the jungle, which is so huge. Like, this is massive, especially because this Kali needs to be hitting that late game, like, in order to even just function. And this is a huge pause of the century here,
So,
really.
Molly has been like what we've been playing Street Fighter, while Gary's been playing Street Fighter, but at the same time he's been playing some Farmville. And Collie doesn't have Facebook installed, so she doesn't know what a Farmville is. She's never seen a back camp to save her life. It didn't help for the fact that this Kabrakan has just yoinked all her last hits, but even then, though, she's just not farming efficiently enough to play a character like this. She's playing a very risky playstyle of you're just gonna have to frag out, or you're just gonna be behind all game, and it works in ranked, and in comp games, I just don't think it works that well.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see, this Collie, hit the late game. Is this Collie going to be having a newfound impact, or is it just going to be more of the same, where the Street Fighters draft are just shutting down this Collie and mostly Bastet whenever they just wow, light speed.
Whoa.
All right, we're back. All right, we're back here. Okay,
You did not
we know
see anything. They did not pull the fire giant. Okay,
we,
no one pulled it.
that could have been either team, really.
Yeah, I think it was actually the Gold Fury walked over and started brawling with it. I think
Who wins in a fight, Gold Fury or Pyroman or
Fire
Giant?
close, bro.
No, I don't think so. Honestly, I think that Gold Fury.
Let me tell you why. So
The Gold Fury
Fire
can
Giant-
move, dude.
So Fire Giant Steve over here, okay, he's built different. Okay, game. Bastet jumped in like a Smarticle.
Whoa.
And,
That's probably the worst zoning you could ever do for Fire Giant is if you die before the Fire Giant
because
gets
it
pulled.
didn't even started yet, and the person just
Like it's like that's the worst way to zone because if you die, now what's stopping them from just walking up and doing this? They have double ADC comp, they just pull fire immaculately. And now they're forced to walk back up. Death the King not having ult either, just doesn't have anything to get them off. And this team doesn't have any steal because the Yasuo is late. Goondar still managed to pick up Alpha Awaken.
Shut your mouth. They're about to lose their whole team for it. Nope.
It looks
That
No,
was a
not
huge
quite.
comeback.
Yasuo.
We gotta give credit where it's due. Alpha Awaken said, "This is my Fire Giant." He could bracket walls it off just so that his team can get the damage on it. That's what we call a hero play. Like this Bastet had the zero play, but then this Kabrakan's like, I could be a hero and walled off
And
the damage so that his team could.
Hercules isn't even in the game right now. You're referencing it. But we see this Primal Fury started up by Kappa just kind of as a consolation prize, trying to get a little bit of a gold lead, still started up for them. 4K ahead, reads their gold right now, and an interesting pickup for Penguin is this Genji's card. This Genji's card is gonna be a little bit, I really wish I would have.
Okay, so let me tell you,
Talk
you
to
get
me.
cooldown. You get
Right.
more cooldown.
Right.
It's green.
It's green,
Uh,
but you know what item is also green and does well. Stream our viewing of this production is currently. Oh, okay, there we go. We're back. Okay. Anyways, what I was saying, you know what is also green and is also really good item? Bulwark. Okay.
Oh.
Bulwark. I mean, you really.
Energy.
No. This Bulwark would have gone. Bubble. This Bulwark would have gone huge here because when you're diving, say you do get low while you're diving in this ultimate form as Cthulhu. If you just
As
get
you're
a
talking about that, there's a tower siege going on.
there's a tower siege going on, but they're slow playing it. I got a little time to talk about it.
No, you don't. The fight's starting.
It's not starting.
Oh,
Neither. The bracket's walking in now. The fight's not started yet. The fight is not started yet. Okay, we see Gary wrapping around, trying to pick someone off, trying to see if anyone's hiding a little bit too far back in the jungle, but just finding the two dive characters for this Succubi team and just a little bit of poke. That's about it. That's all that's happening right now. They can't really just walk in the Succubi shop.
I think this AFC's mismanaging his hives there, bro. Look at this. They're on top of each other. What you
Yeah,
gonna do?
I mean, he doesn't have to waste time putting down another one, I guess. But you could just put it a little bit farther back.
Fully powered their
You know, just
Your team
because if
has
they get to
fully
that one,
timed the
they get to the
output.
other one as well. So it's like it's not even, you know, you just killing a whole lot of bees right there. But we see Majin get a little bit caught out here. Capriole comes out good onto Majin, and Capriole does
They're
come out
using
onto
3
himself.
ults to kill a Kepri.
Yeah.
I say you take this fight if you're the
You
third fighter.
100% take
The
this
Kepri
fight.
is still alive! And
We
they're
see
angry!
Cthulhu comes up, and this is just such a great fight for this Kappa's team.
Is it?
Succubi have to back off. Yeah, I mean, they have fire right now on all their damage healers, and any stalled fight is a great fight for this Kappa's team because you're just stalling time for this fire gen to come out, and the later this game goes, the better this Kappa's team becomes. You know, you have Cthulhu, you know, finishing off that last item. You have your AMC, your Cernos just getting their last few items to really just start shredding through everyone indiscriminately. I think that the stalled fight there is just like Kappa's win. They lose like no tier 2 towers for that whole time that fire
They do
was on
give
them.
up both relics on the Kepri though.
And all.
Yeah, so I mean, if they, for instance, were to start fighting here and Kepri gets walled,
A team gets it. I get scared whenever a Capri 2 goes onto a Pyromancer because I feel like it's gonna
I
get
could
stolen.
tell you thought it did half the Pyro's health bar.
I couldn't see the health bar before. You know, there was a lot of blue health bars in the way, and then there's like a red health bar around it. So
No,
it's
I
just-
understand that. In a COT set last night, I stole a Fire Giant with my 3, bro. It was Kepri.
Capri abilities hurt. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Petition to make Capri 2 do actually 0 damage and 0 mitigation.
Somebody told me that their friend wanted to make Kepriel instead of res someone, give somebody 80% mitigation.
That's so broken. What?
Me when I Kepriel the Cthulhu.
Like, it's just like that would be even worse than a self res because like at least at that point it's like okay they're coming back at like 50% HP. I can still kill them afterwards, but like if they're just 80% mitigation, like Tiamat was annoying with it, and you know that's a full damage Tiamat. Imagine a full tank, you know, Cthulhu, or like a full tank like King Arthur diving on you with 80% mitigation. Like that's annoying right there.
Both teams posturing. What are they posturing about, Charlie?
They're posturing about this EFG that's about to happen, and we start to see a little bit of a little poke happening towards it, but you know they're just kind of waiting, seeing what each other willing to do. Gary takes a little bit of damage, and we start to see this fight break out. This Kali is still on the right side, and they're positioned around it just a little bit, but kind of a free entryway to Skull I'm seeing right here, so I really wish they would play a bit tighter together, but they do exactly that actually, so great job on listening. But you know, Kali flanks in onto the Skull, and Capri's just not looking at Skull. He needs to save Skull, but Skull manages to go down. Huge fight gets broken down around it. But we start to see Gary on this back picks up a double in the ult, and Cthulhu goes up into the ult. Capri ult is good at saving Cernos. Gary gets a triple. Gary coming up huge. Penguin getting a kill, and wait, that was a denied Penta. Gary loses his Penta.
See,
But
you can't blame Penguin there because there was only a triple at that point.
it was only exactly, so it wasn't like
Yeah.
it wasn't
So
like the
actually, if you think about it, really, Penguin actually did most of the work anyway. Because
Yeah,
everyone's looking at him anyway.
I mean a
Anything-
beautiful Cthulhu ult there.
If
though.
anything, Gary stole Penguin's Penta.
You know what? I agree. You know, Mickey 4 kills right there. You know, give those 4 kills to Penguin. Really, but I think that team fight, you know, goes nearly perfectly for this Kappa's
I
team.
don't know. I think it went awful.
I mean, it
to start
started
out with.
awful.
You
It
had
started
Skull
awful.
get picked because Majin was unaware, and then the ADC gets on him, and Kepri take them both selves out of the fight. So it was basically a 2v4/5. Like,
But I mean,
I think if Death the King had an actual like build to deal with the Cthulhu at the time, I think that this fight goes way differently. But I think it's just that they didn't have the right comp, because Giannis isn't burning the Cthulhu at all either. I just don't think they have the right comp to and builds to burn a Cthulhu. I think they
exactly.
a simple like item in draft gift in that fight.
And but this dive for this Kappa scene is just so annoying at this state of the game, you know, because this Cthulhu just doesn't die. He just stands there. He's annoying. There's a lot of purple on your screen. There's tentacles everywhere, and it's just so annoying to fight a Cthulhu in this late game stage because he's just tankier than you, and he still has such a wide AoE effect, able to find like these huge knockups set up for his Pele to just free cast basically. So I think that was a beautiful dive off of the Kappas. Would like to see their backline get cleaned up a little bit, backline play. Maybe, you know, Maijin, you know, moves his mouse like, you know, around. That'd be also cool. But other than that, I think this is like a perfect, you know, kind of plan for this.
It's rough because mice don't move unless there's like some cheese around, and maybe Masha just ran out of cheese for his mice to look around.
I don't know. How do you motivate? Like, where does the mouse and like the mice with cheese thing come from? Like, there has to be a reason why mice love cheese. Because like cheese is just like not found naturally, but we actually see Crazy gets caught out though. This Kali should be getting initiated on you. How Penguin tanking, but beautiful Yanosul hits both Gary and Gundar. And if I exactly, I was just about to say that you initiate onto this fight. Gary falls down, Gundar forced the ult out, and Crazy still gets out here. But we see the reinitiation. Manages to pick off this Kabrakan, and now we get to see a little bit of them playing up towards the Phoenix. Bastet, oh, you cannot get hit by that. You know, you're giving up beads there. Now, if, like, this is perfect for this, you know, Succubi team.
I think if you're Kappas, you still go siege this. You're even, and someone has to go deal with Firewave. Like I think I disagree with this disengage. You just saw Bastet Giannis all come out, Kali all come out. I think this would have been the best time to siege it, to be honest.
Right, but I also think that
had Cthulhu and Skull and
yeah, they still have a lot of ults up, but I think sieging into a Cupidol is not a very fun time.
When you're a Cthulhu.
When you're a Cthulhu, yes, but you don't have anyone diving with you. You know, that Cthulhu is only going to do so much damage.
So what you do?
Crazy
just
getting
the Cthulhu walk in with his ult, and if he gets low, Kepri ults him.
Yeah. I don't think the Cthulhu will get low, but it's just, you know, not going to be threatening this backline either. I don't think it's a mistake from this Kappa's team, but I also don't think it's making a play. We'll agree to disagree.
Well, now because you just wasted your EFG. You just wasted your EFG. Damn, wow.
I mean, they still get a Phoenix off of it.
They should have gotten two.
But we start to, you know, see this EFG wear off now. This Phoenix is about to come back up. A little bit going back to the status quo of where things were last.
I'm glad my camera pointed it out. This Kabrakan's hard trolling.
Does not even have starter upgraded yet, and same with Death the King, not upgrading his Death Toll into its Death Temper, instead of going for the Odibo instead. I think that the Death Temper is just such like a bigger power spike, you know, 50 power, and if you're playing on the back foot like this, you're going to be clearing waves a lot.
Actually, you don't need to upgrade it. I think I would have sold it for dominance.
But for Odibo?
Yeah, that's a little weird. I think you have the dominance, especially you just start shredding this Cthulhu.
I think he's a little bit focused on the Silver Wrench stack, but I don't think that's, you know, what you need to be focusing on right now. I think you need to be focusing on, you know, how do we kill this Cthulhu? I think Death Temper does that better than Odibo.
Wishy way too overextended here. Honestly, this Bastet has not been punished enough, considering that you guys have two cripples on your team.
Has not been punished enough, but also I don't think the Bastet has been impacting the game a lot.
I agree.
We see Kali splitting off on this right hand side. If I'm this Kappa team, I take a fight.
You take this fight.
Yeah, you take a fight. This Kali's 100% late, but getting a little bit cold feet on it. Just kind of
out here, being Gary,
doing Gary stuff. You know, great position for him to be in right now. Get a huge engage. You know, we start to see Death the King Alpha picked off at the offset, and I think this draft has. This draft has hit for the Succubi has hit midnight, and I think that they are turning back into an onion because that should be game right there.
It was a pumpkin, but nice try.
The carriage was an onion.
No, it was a pumpkin.
It wasn't. I swear. Oh,
Oh,
I'm
you're
thinking
thinking of
of
Shrek, Charlie. You're thinking of Shrek. Thanks, Charlie.
Problem. I blame it on the NyQuil. But we start to see them moving into the Phoenix, moving into the Titan room, and I think that'll be game one for this Kappa versus Succubi.
Game. This team on the right just looking like a bunch of ranked players at times. To be honest, they're not really team fighting that all that.
Yeah, just very scattered, like not really anywhere in particular, just kind of there.
I think their draft really does show that they're not like willing to play like a team at all. I think the honest
Yeah.
Collie, Bested are kind of like these selfish picks.
You don't have anything to like, really win you team fights with this draft, Cupid, but other than that, that's about it. And then when you're fighting, Cthulhu, Pele, Sardanos with a Kepri, team fight's gonna be insane. And I think it's reflected in the numbies, in the stats. Gundar putting up 30k even. Well, 4 over
Let
actually.
me do some math real quick. Hold up. 5, 21, 27, 36, 50 to 30, 51, 67, and then 83. So we have a 33 ward diff on one side.
Oh, you were counting wards. I was like, what are you counting?
There's a 33 ward diff by this left team compared
I
to this
mean,
right team.
it was shown a lot because Gary was able to get so many ganks onto this Cupid early, and I think that's what really put them ahead. Start to Gary get these items online, really impact the game, really just slam the pressure, and that'll be it for game one. And we'll be right back with game two.
お前に会いに来たんだ。大変だったよ。お前すげえ遠くにいるから。
Welcome back to Cryptic Zeus Smite League. I'm still iCharlie, and that's still Bubble. I don't want to be around him. He thinks cranberries are gross.
Bro, I never said they're gross. I said if you actively eat cranberries, you're 50 years old.
But so that implies that since we're both not 50 years old, that they're bad.
No.
Yes, cranberries are good. Okay, because I was drinking
cranberries are all right at best. All right, they're not good.
I was drinking my cranberry lemon lime drink, unbranded, and
You said
Bubble
spring cranberry, LeBron James.
Okay, but I was vibing with it, and I'm like, this drink goes hard. And I'm like, Bubble, are you a cranberry person? And he's like, no. I'm like, that's messed up. Okay, anyways.
I said, no, I'm not 50 years old.
Anyways, picks and bans for game 2. What are we looking to see different from these two teams? Do you think Food Fighters need to do anything differently? what do you think Succubi should be changing about their drafts differently? Talk to me a little bit about these.
I think that this Succubi team needs to draft actually like a team comp and not just like a bunch of ranked players, like picking whatever they feel like or whatever. And I think for the Kappas, I think they outdrafted in the first game. I don't think it'll happen in the second game. But also, I think they just need to play better. Like they just made way too many mistakes.
We
And against
see
some of these better teams, it'll just cost them the bag.
we see AMC get banned out and Guan for the Succubi team, and then meanwhile Food Fighters ban out the Hades Dodgy again, kind of doing a little run back on bans. Succubi saying that this AMC was the problem. Do you think that this AMC was the thing really shutting them down as the store
Nope.
gets? Nope. Okay, they are ripping through bans though. They are wasting no
I'm
time.
surprised that Capri and or Pele have not been knocked out.
Yeah, I felt like those were the two really sore problem points, but we do see the Kefri locked in, so that's why the Succubi were going towards it. But you know, Food Fighters, this Pele's already been hovered. Like they already know. Like this Pele is just the thing they want, and I think they're good for wanting that. I think this Pele was a large reason why they won, going with the Cernunnos again as well.
Yeah.
Big yawn. Same really prevalent characters from this Food Fighter chef. So I'm interested to see what Succubi will respond with, whether they'll, try to maybe match this early game presence from this Pele. Yu Huang
yet ready
getting locked in
to become the Jade Emperor.
with the Naja.
Also, see, the picks are already better. Like it's almost like they just threw out their whole team last game and they just came back here.
The Emoja. Yeah, I really like both teams actually top threes. If I had to take a pick, I'd say I'm still liking Food Fighters a bit more, but this Succubi draft is already infinitely better in my opinion. I think it's such a better draft off the rip.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you don't draft Giannis, like what was the other one top three? That was Sussy Baka.
I think that was the only one that was.
They went Bracky Cupid. Yeah, they picked Cupid way too early too. But they also had like a Bastet in the back half, and it's whatever.
There was a lot of, but picks and bans being cleaned up a lot for the Succubi. Baba getting banned again. I'm interested to see if they will actually ban out Hunter here, or if they'll just kind of say, yeah, this AMC was the reason they were doing double Hunter. What are your thoughts on that as the Charybdis gets?
I mean, I think that maybe this order side tipped their hand because they're banning Hunters, which means that they're probably going to go mage in the mid lane.
Mm-hmm. What mage do you think that they'll probably be looking for? Because if I'm this order side draft, I know that they're not running double Hunter. So really, you could run this Mori Cthulhu and be really oppressive with it. Really start to just run down these team fights the same way, because
Mori has a really good transform two really good transforms already. So that like this Morgan, I'm surprised hasn't even thought about these last two games.
Yeah, it's just because if one Cthulhu was tough to deal with last game, imagine you have two of them now. So
I have no idea where this Achilles Achilles ban came from.
I guess to deal with to make sure that the Kefri gets to kind of save there, but I think that's such a bad thing. I think it's like one of those like phantom matchups. Chalk being looked at. What are your thoughts on Chalk right now in the current meta?
He's dog water.
I agree. I don't like this god. I think this god is bad and has always been bad.
He's fun for about 12 minutes, and then you realize, oh no, I
don't do anything. Mid lane Chalk is not awful. Still not a fun god. I just personally don't like playing Chalk. I think that god is just so boring. Ishtar getting covered now.
Send them to the underworld.
Get past that. You just said mid lane Chalk is not that bad. It is, Charlie. We can't give misinformation out here.
I don't know. But this Chalk still getting covered as the Ishtar comes in. Ishtar way better at shredding this Cthulhu than the Cupid was last time, but still, like, I don't think you reliably kill a Cthulhu, especially, say a Yemo to, find his way to Cthulhu somehow. And if I'm this order side draft, I'm looking to out 1v1 this Ishtar. I think there's quite a few hunters on the board that can still,
Like CERN.
CERN. They can throw that over there, or if they say want to take the CERN to mid, you can still grab something like a Hoi Yi, since double ADC.
I would still go with Morgan CERN here.
I would still go with Morgan, but
got
I
my
think that this
eye
Hoi
on
Yi,
you.
exactly as I was talking about, is still a good pick. You're still going to be able to shut down this laning phase of the Ishtar, really just
No, you
fight
don't.
back. I mean, I think that this Hoi Yi
I
should be
think-
able to.
I think Ishtar actually just hard wins that matchup. She
Really?
outplayers the Hoi Yi. I think her 1v1's way better. I totally disagree. I think you throw CERN into the duo lane, where CERN's one of the few guys who can out pressure in lane Ishtar, and you go Morgan mid.
I definitely think the Morgan mid would have been better, but I also believe that I think that this Hoi Yi Ishtar matchup is actually a lot closer than you might be making it out to be. I think that the Ricochet is still going to be able to find a whole lot of value, and I think if it kind of just goes down to which ADC plays it right. I think Ishtar has a little bit of the advantage, but it's not just a hard, it's not a hard counter matchup.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think it is.
Yeah, it is.
All right, but so I don't have a rebuttal for that. If you just say no, it isn't, then like, what am I supposed to say?
I already explained why, and then you just denied facts, and facts don't care about your feelings, Charlie.
Also, so we'll be seeing, Skull piloting this Cernos instead of Gundar, so it will be a Hoi Yi ADC, Cern mid. I don't think it was ever like really in the cards, but how do you feel about both teams' drafts? Do you like them? Do you not like them?
Like I said, this blue side draft, I like it. I really do, and I think Ishtar is actually like the biggest Cthulhu shredder in the game. It's just that for some reason they picked the Cucullin, and it's not my favorite pick in the world right now.
Yeah,
That Cucullin's just not good right now. I think it's a crutch pick for people who just are not used to playing the soul lane.
I mean, I think the Cucullin will be able to find a little bit of value going something like a Tainted or a Hero's Axe, really help this Najah dive. And I think that if the Cucullin doesn't fall into that bluestone trap, then I think it'll be something that will be very beneficial for this Succubi team. I don't think that this Cucullin will hard win them or lose them the game, which I think is not the greatest of horizons at the moment, because besides from this Ishtar and Naja, I don't think your mid theory 3 really wins you the game, though. I think that this Sononos Pele Yamoja is gonna be so much more impactful, even with like backliners going shell basically all the time. I think that this Yamoja is going to find so much value, though. Being able to, trap basically everyone not named Yu Huang in walls. So I think that this right side draft, again, has such a scary late game team fight. They just have to get there. And I think that this will be once again, a fun game to see develop. I think they'll come online a little bit later than they did last game. I think that it'll take a couple more minutes to get there. You have to get Hoi Yi and Sononos there instead of, AMCU, who really needs 3-4 items to get there. Sononos out of ADC, gets his items so quickly. And yeah, Bubble. Who do you got for this game and why?
Who do I got for what now?
Who do you got for this game and why?
This game?
This game.
This game?
This game right here that we are watching. Game 2 of Succubi and
I
Azal.
think that you just let Gary have the what do you get, 12-2 on the Pele last game or some stuff like that?
Yeah, something insane like that.
Yeah, so and you let him have it again. And I think that the Kali player has swept to a god who's a little bit more skillful. And he didn't have the best game in the Kali. And just going off of last game, I think that it was more of the Kappas were just better but made mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
The other team was playing like it was a ranked game and not a comp game.
Right. What I do want to touch on about a bit is that this Cucullin does exactly what I was scared of, and he goes Bluestone, instead of something like a Hero's Axe or a Tainted. Talk to me a little bit how this will affect his late game potential.
Late game, it'll be fine. You just won't be able to mitigate the healing from Yamoja, Sur, Pele, Cthulhu, Hoi demos, and like
Yeah.
you didn't want to do that. You just want the extra, 2 ticks on Bluestone,
Yeah, I don't think that the Bluestone's needed here though, because this
Right.
Cuchulain's just gonna generate
Oh
pressure.
no, wait, you didn't even mention the best part.
He went
Tier
he went
1
Earring. Wait, he doesn't use mana. Wait, I don't know why he's. That's
so
like
for those of you
that's not
taking
even a
notes
health
out
pot
there,
worth of healing there, but
and he
he's
also went multi-pot.
oh, early game gank. Wishy was so low at the moment, but Gary just needs to find that last little bit of damage. Slow from the ring bounce will make it so it's a little bit harder, but the dash into the wall secures Gary the kill onto Owishi. But now Penguin Pimp's also in trouble. Crazy dash onto or sash onto Gary there to make sure that he doesn't get hit by the Cthulhu too, but the fear, and that just gives Gary a double kill, and that's the worst thing to give Gary on this Pele pick.
I think it has a lot to do with the fact that this Cthulhu's build is his Cuchulain build kind of mean.
Yeah, the earring, because with that
He also
health,
went multi-pots, so like.
I mean, with the multi-pods and the health pods, you can have them tick at the same time, which is
Yeah,
nice, but it's, yeah, I agree with you. But I think that him going earring and not going something like this, just anything else, really. I honestly believe that anything else is more valuable
Really,
because
that is useless.
yeah, it's just, even going something like, an early pesky or, just anything. Just anything. I want anything else. But we see Gary get control of Ori. Is going to be a nice chunk of change into his pocket. And already 800 gold up, for first blood, plus just being able to secure a lot of that neutral farm, getting stuff like mid-cams, oracles, and we see a little bit of a little pocket skirmish here, possibly breaking out around this. Kefri Abduct is good. Ishtar's Mez is also good. And Majin just able to get out, just the DR off of that, but really good Umoja 3, and also really well played by that second
Pele
guy.
looking like Predator coming in.
A little, manages to strip away the blue buff for this.
Penguin, no!
Secure the blue buff, I mean, but Penguin taking a little bit of damage, Wishy, fearful of the Pele.
Penguin,
And then up, we see a little bit of a pause.
And I can tell you why. It's because Kepri started dancing, and that caused the game to break.
True fact. Don't double check the Kepri dancing.
Don't double check.
No, Cypher, you can't double check. Exactly. Trust. You can't. All right. We're back. Oh wait. No, he's fact checking you.
No, Kepri. No.
Rux is fact checking you. This Kepri is fact checking you. Let's go.
So we have now wasted
Great
time.
work, Cypher. Great work, Cypher. I'm proud of you as always.
Oh, did I say Kepri? I meant to say Blue Buff started dancing.
But Cypher on production, making sure Bubble can never lie. Cypher, she's really goat.
Goon with the DC.
Yeah.
So top 10 goons, not Goondar.
Goondar, just Goon.
He's got that Goon internet.
Do you, if you're saying Goondar's name on cast, do you shorten it to Goon or do you say Goondar?
He's the Goon.
That doesn't answer my question.
I call him Dar.
Dar. Anyways, so
Dar looking for this Death's Toll Demos bill.
But yeah, I was about to say let's talk about builds for a second. Mainly this Neja build. What are your thoughts on Bumbos specifically? Do you think do you not think I would have just a little bit more value there, or just?
It's pick your poison. I think they're both do fine on Neja. I think you like the 10% pen and cooldown on the dagger, and it's just better early. But Neja is really more of a setup god, anyways. So
Yeah. And I giving you that little bit of prots late game off of Protector and Seer, I think that would be actually very valuable because of the fact that, you're getting in there, you're getting protections from your ult, and that could possibly, extend your life a little bit because that god is just such a, get in there, do my stuff, and
It's a
possibly
pick your poison. It's pick your poison. It's not. It's either one's fine. Honestly, I don't think it makes or breaks your build. As far as trolling your build so far, Alpha going Sentinels on Capri's a little strange.
yeah, I feel like that's a benevolence.
We're not going to talk about Kukulin again.
No, we've already touched it enough. It's
Uh,
just,
any troll relics? Nah.
no,
Aegis on
everything.
the Yuwang.
That means that they shouldn't be getting beads there, and if I'm
It means if Pele gets on top of you and your three's down, you are what we call dead.
big dead,
Like
not
huge dead.
R.I.P. in peace, kind of dead.
Like deader than Frank on a Tuesday. Rip
Who's Frank? Who is Frank?
My turtle.
Why is your turtle named Frank?
Why are you hating on the name Frank?
I don't know. I feel like there's a lot better
Well,
names.
hold
for
up. You never
turtle than
seen
Frank.
Franklin? Hold up. One of the most famous
No,
turtles
no,
ever.
no. I'm a
Oh,
Franklin hater. I'm a Franklin.
oh my lord.
That turtle was stupid. I hated Franklin.
I bet you were an Arthur liker, bro.
I was actually. I was a big Arthur
Oh
liker.
my lord. Of course, you seem like someone like Arthur.
What is that supposed to mean?
I don't know. What is it supposed to mean, Charlie? Chargoat?
It's messed up. We are going through the pause of the century at the moment. Really.
Okay, well, we'll take this moment. Let's rate some names here. Blue the Dumbo.
It's unpausing. You took
Oh.
too long.
No!
Took too long to rate the names. But I will say the name that does go the hardest here. I'm biased to it. Penguin Pimp is a name that goes hard. Skull also goes hard.
It
But
used to be the Flaming Skull.
Oh, we actually just Terminus ult come out, but and quite a bit of
Sypha had a premonition that nothing happened. So
I will say I'm biased to it because my original username had an I in it. So, but I crazy does go hard.
the Exaper is a 6.
I agree, but you
Why is
also
that
have
not
numbers
an
in your
8?
name. Crazy 8. I actually that's a good point. But we actually see a gank onto Penguin Pimp from this Naja getting active. Just hit level 5. Penguin goes up into the ult, make sure that he cannot be at Naja ulted. But that should be the end of that. Nothing to really grab for this Naja. And looking to actually do the regank off this. Hoping Cthulhu.
All Penguin doesn't have to do is walk up. Just don't walk up.
And Gary back to his home, back into the duel lane at level 5.
home.
And missed Paleo. I think if he hits that Paleo, that's
I
it.
think if he keeps walking at the person, he kills him.
Well, he was horrific.
bailing Gary out, and Gary looking like he's just stuck in jail now. That missed his opportunity.
Well, getting initiated onto in this mid lane, hoping to finally put this Succubi on the board, but not enough damage onto
Way
Skull.
too late of an ult. Blue
Yeah,
the
you just-
Dumbo showing why his name's not the Smarto.
We start to see Gary rotate in now, but not a whole lot of buttons. But I think that, honestly, if Gary waits, like, actually a half second for the Ishtar dash, I think he could get Ishtar there, really make sure he connects that ult onto the Ishtar and, secure
He just
the
missed.
3-0 status.
He just missed.
He did just miss.
But
The best Gary, more like the worst Gary.
I keep saying this. I don't know.
But
why.
we see a Gary gank, and the Cullen ult make sure that he is warded off for the time being. But Cullen, let's say Cullen looking like he possibly wants to fight.
He looking a little anky, bro.
Looking a little angry, and I think he's stuck between a rock and a hard place right now, but able to find the safety of his tower. A little bit of poke damage onto
So
Penguin
which one's
Pimp.
the rock and which one's the hard place?
I imagine that the Pele would be the hard place because the Cthulhu is built like a rock.
I have to disagree. Rocks are mobile, while
I
hard
don't think
places
they are.
mobile. Have you ever thrown a rock?
But that's outside.
Have you ever thrown a hard place?
I have not. No.
Exactly. Next question.
When do we think that this Manicore spike will be finished out of Colon?
I would hope it'd be finished by now. Oh, it's level 7. Why does he not have an item?
Yeah, we start to
He
see.
has TP!
Cypher, can we get a golden hand check? He has enough for it. That's enough. He has enough to buy a full another one of
Full
it.
buy it!
You can full buy another one of them as well. You know, it's only 2,000 for it.
But he's just wandering in the jungle.
We do not mean to call out Wishy in particular, but you know, it's just the questionable decision. Stern actually getting very aggressive onto Blue the Dumbo, but
Showing why he's Skull.
that doesn't make any sense. But
Don't worry about it. Next question.
do we see Kukulon back here?
No.
No. Yes, we do. Yeah, we see
Oh, he's
Kukulon
back
back.
in?
7 minutes on the dot.
Despite the fact that Penguin's already used his teleport before, this is the first time Kukulon has teleport. Now, Yamoja all on the red buff.
Yeah, making sure that they can secure it. Secure the invade, and Majin able to still get everything. You know, nice.
Nisha has to be careful. He doesn't alter anything.
Exactly. Float does come out from Blue, but not really anything that they can grab here. Everyone's just kind of.
Poke the scepter because they have so much poke on this melee.
They have so much poke, and you know they don't have the resources to contest it. You know, Ishtar is just a little bit ahead of this whole Yi, and that would have been a very good call there. But we see that Gary.
They're lactose intolerant.
They do invade the Scorpion. It looks like though. So
That's a free. What?
500.
250 gold.
I think isn't it 500?
250. It's 250. It's 50 each. So 5 times 5 is 25 at the 0.
Yeah, because I know the stat of 4 Scorpions
the
equals
gold
a
is
gold
1,000.
free.
Gold's 1,000.
Gold's
So 4
1,000.
Scorpions.
Huh.
Welcome to math class, Charlie. I'll get Brock in here one day.
There's a reason that my 2 majors ever have been pastries and criminal psychology. So
You
now,
seem
Matt-
like a pastry major.
anyways, we actually see Majin out here counter milking, counter juicing even. And just a little bit of a kerfuffle, but not really anything else other than that.
You did just come on the cast and say the word kerfuffle.
Kerfuffle. It's like the start of a fight, but they don't really fight. It's like kerfuffle.
No, it's not a kerfuffle.
But this
CERN a little bit stepped in.
the Succubi, pushing up just the tiniest little bit. Actually looking to get a really good
Purple
engage
invade.
here.
Gabriel comes out. Huge
Gary
Ishtar.
deleted.
The best
And
Gary.
Naruto.
There Shaw is in the air.
Gundar taking so much damage on this Hoi, and he will also fall. This is a 2 for nothing play
But
at the
maybe they
moment.
ever stayed there welcome. Busha.
But
This
Busha
should be a
and
gold pool. This should be a gold pool.
a 100%. Even if this Neja doesn't have the HP, they don't have a whole lot to stop it on the side of the Kappas, but instead looking to take the safer play, just securing their buffs. Both teams.
They could have milked him at least.
Yeah, because the early game scepters are just so much gold. And also
Obelisk.
Obelisk, yes. But
See, now
instead,
Busha just counter milks him again, and even though they just wiped two people. Like,
but we actually do see the Succubi actually 1k gold ahead off that fight. Both junglers, sharing KDs, really cute. So we see Wishy go Bulwark, still sitting on the tier 1 earring.
Why does he have a tier 1 earring?
I will say, this build
Could Coleman get any benefit off MP5?
he gets a little bit. I think he gets 30% converted to HP5. So
Okay.
30% of 15 is not a lot.
It's like less than 5.
It's like 4. But we actually see the initiation
huge.
onto him. Bulwark actually, kind of prolongs
The
his
other
life.
thing is that you keep this Pele ever ganks you, just get killed here. Right?
Exactly. You
Because
don't have any defense. But Nasha Sash, ring pass off the mark. It actually could be Penguin actually getting this kill, but doesn't have ult, doesn't have that little extra bit of damage to quick secure it, but
Finally gets into some physical defense after being punished.
mail renewal. So here's my issue, right? If I'm this Kukulin, I'm threatening 0 backlines at the moment with this build. Kappa's secure the Pyromancer as
Yeah,
we are.
they have double hunter and a Pele. He has 40 fizz procs.
I don't even think it's that. I think isn't it mail 30?
30? Is it 30?
Yeah. I think it is. But
Can we just look at the item? Sorry.
type can we look at mail? It's 30, yeah.
It's
See,
30,
look at me.
yeah.
Look at me. I'm so smart. But I mean, even
It used to be 40.
even if you get something like a Manicore's Glad Shield, right? This Cthulhu isn't gonna be out fighting you. As a Kukulin, you have more buttons to throw out than him, and you just, your damage, you hurt a lot more. You have that easy rage, you get more power, and I think that's your way into this landing phase. Go with something like Manicore's Glad Shield, and then you can grab like the Bulwark, Heartward, Spirit Robe. I think you're unkillable with that build. But instead, going for this Bulwark Mail, interested to see how his team fights will develop with this. And as we're talking about the Kukulin, he's actually making the journey over to the mid lane, looking to start a little bit of a tussle even over here.
Top lane kerfuffle.
A little bit of a scrap over here.
Thank you.
Problem.
Dumbo backing despite his solo.
But we actually see Gundar getting initiated on Blink Najah ult is good, and we will see him land down Gundar at no HP. But yeah, the Ishtar 2 manages to pick it up. But
everyone
Dumbo,
has left Dumbo though for the wolves, so to speak.
Exactly.
Interesting emotional, not exactly preventing anything from happening.
I guess it sections off the Pele away from the rest of this Succubi team, but yeah, that's a stretch. But I actually see a Gold Fury pull out from them now, looking to push this gold lead a little bit further. They don't.
Not taking enough to zone these.
Exactly. It's just
and then the Cthulhu's here.
The Cthulhu, great rotation from Penguin on this Cthulhu, able to really swing this fight. Gary does fall, but Skull picks up this Kefri. Crazy
Penguin,
does go down
get
as
him
well.
off this Cthulhu, people. He's out here Cthulhuing it up. Well, everyone else is.
Well, I will say, Wishy's at full HP.
Aw.
Wishy's at full HP, but he does no damage.
How is Wishy at full HP in the team fight?
Male.
I understand that, but it was a team fight. He's the solo later.
Either this backline, or in this case, Skull does not care about Wishy that much. Like, prefers to be.
I guess he doesn't do any damage.
Exactly. That's the thing. That's the issue with this build, is that even in Berserk, he has what, 30 power. He just doesn't have any way to really threaten this backline. And when you're, starting with like Devos and Wind Demon, you can kind of just, re-sustain any damage that he does to you. Exactly. So that's why we saw that fight go so handily, along with Penguin's rotation in really just doing more than Wishy right now. If this was a ranked game, you would have the entire team saying, solo gap, but actually Wishy doing quite a bit of damage. For these longer sustained fights, this is where Wishy's build is, passable. You're able to, fight for a while, but they have to engage you in that fight for a while, as Penguin can just dash away and say, I don't want to fight you. But we're back into the status quo, just farming and just trying to get to late game still. Both teams, have a very good comp into late game. We see the Kukulin fall off a little bit, but we also see, Pele not have the insane late game that this Najah will have because of this Bumbas.
People say that Pele's late game's not insane. I would argue that she's still 2 shots in the back.
Well, she still does, but it's like, she 2 shots is easier in the early.
Yeah, but 2-shot.
We actually hold that thought. Speaking of 2-shotting, Crazy coming over looking for a gank, but Shallow Ward is able to reveal that. Yeah, sure. No. Already har. Anyways.
Colin getting gone on like a
like a something.
Gerbil.
What? Knockup is off the mark, but Pyro just is about to spawn up. You can, and same with Cups just spawning in. Skull coming in with a rotation, doing quite a bit of
do not care.
Skull does. Skull does not care if if you're wanting to fight there or not. He's just gonna do his damage, and once again, Skull's just by himself, and they're just letting him just hang out.
Yeah, that's
You see this Pyromancer started up by the Kappas, and this gold lead starting at 2k, and once again, this Kappa's comp, same as game 1, you cannot let them get ahead. Once they're ahead, they don't fall behind.
Team fight, right? Huge blue Dumbo ult. Neja stun, pretty good, but no follow-up off the Neja
The
stun.
Neja ult comes out onto the Cthulhu. Yemo
Oh,
walls
huge walls. Now,
nice anti-follow-up.
Penguin ult. Gary gets picked off the back end. Penguin's running into a forest fire.
Okay. I will hold that that Wishy getting mana cores there is huge. Okay? Because now he has damage. This mana cores is going to do quite a bit of damage since he has, quite a bit of health on it. And as we say that, Naja actually goes onto Majin on the TMO, but able to back off. And actually, this Succubi team is actually going to start at fire, but, thinking better of it. Rather look for Skull instead. Skull playing corners right here. Gets the Bramble Blast onto Wishy, and Wishy forced it back a bit. And just kind of... Alright, will they be looking back to this fire? They will not. So, off of that really good team fight for the Succubi, nothing really comes of it.
I mean, they got a T.
They got a what?
I just had the worst timed hiccup in the world, bro. They just got a T fight win. They didn't actually decrease this gold lead at all. Hold on.
Exactly. It's still, actually it used to be 2k. It's now,
Still like 2K.
1.5k. It's actually, if we want to get really technical and down to it, it's actually...
really technical.
This has got to be bullying on the cast. Gotta be. Anyways, bullying fellow casters aside.
Now you're just coming out and do math. Maybe you're the two-faced one,
I think that Wishy finally opting in for this Glad Shield, it looks like. I hope it's Glad Shield. But we actually see Skull. Will this be the end of Skull?
Where's the follow-up? Was there not
Whoa. They must have backed or something, but...
Did you Wong?
I think Yuhong might have backed.
I could have sworn he had a teammate next to him.
But, I mean, I was about to say, will Skull become a Skull, but Skull,
No, he just put his crossbones on people, bro.
For real, making them look at the Skull emoji, and Kappas get another Primal Fury, huge Ishtar stun, but, nothing really to come off of it. But, now we're seeing Skull get a 3-level lead in mid. And this is where this Cernos starts to look so scary. Cernos, it's gonna really just out DPS you now. That Cern utilizes crit very well, gonna be able to lifesteal a lot in that that spring stance, and so reduce the cost in that autumn stance, so he doesn't really need to build 10 all the time. And
Solo's the goon.
And interestingly enough, Gundar does not use actives there. Meanwhile, Death King uses both. So maybe a little bit of a Z-Man moment, a little bit of a Zap moment, where it doesn't use any actives and unfortunately happens to fall down. But Cursed Ankh on Hugh Huang. Thank you, Cypher, for pointing this out for me. So break it down for me. You're the analytical one here, right?
There's another Ankh on their team too.
There's two Ankh. Yeah. One of them is the Yuwon. You break it down.
I understand why Capri has him, but maybe horrific. Sprint would be better. In fact, I think any other.
Shell even? No.
Yeah,
they have Yemo.
Good into Pele. You're right.
They have Yemo, even. And Shell once again good into Pele. Point is, anything else? We start to see. Alright. So if you already know what's going to be my favorite thing to pull up. Can you pull up Golden Hand right quick? Why does Penguin have 3k gold? He's sitting on Manicores. Manicores is such a huge power spike for this Cthulhu. And he's just saying, nah, I want to fight this. I want to fight him more.
Fight breaks out in the jungle.
Exactly, but, you know, Polymorph comes out, Wild Hunt comes out, but not a whole lot off of it. And just kind of... Pyro's spawning up soon. So...
Like Hera's ability.
Polymorph is like the CC. And it's all, I think that's also the name of Hera too, but I think it... Wild Hunt is actually the name of the ult. We actually see Penguin coming in, and this is going to be Jumbo, Ghetto, even. And then we start to see this, you know, on the other side of the fight, Skull going in on Wishy. Skull's just natural born fragger, okay? NBF, really. And meanwhile, on the far side of the left side is BADC still fighting it out. But I think that's just a free Pyromancer for this Kappa's team. You know, another objective if, you know, goes in the little pockets, little grubby little miniature pockets of this Kappa's team. Okay, they stole it.
Capri OP, man. Capri 2 does half Pyromancer, remember?
True. You know what? See me saying, you know, me being worried about Capri saying Pyro. You know, it was a huge premonition. But now we actually see a meeting of the minds over here in duo lane. You know, nice little 2v2 getting broken out. Ishtar doing so much to shred Penguin at the moment, and you know, Penguin's just got to get out. Tasha does take Majin up, or Gundar up, but not really anything to follow off of it. We start to see a little bit of a re-engage here. Cthulhu knockup is good, Polymorph is good, Yama 3 is great even, and Crazy should be going down here. A little bit of damage finds the mark, and now, but this Succubi team is all grouped up. Gary's a little bit late to the fight, but now he's finally here, and I think this is going to be a great trap for them to fall into. But backing off a little bit, not really looking to take this fight. Kind of looking to reset, maybe get some good vision around it, but as soon as I say that, Succubi pushing the advantage even more, looking to grab this tier 1 tower, maybe something more, but Skull and Gary on the right backside.
Gary with the huge 3-man knockup out here, putting the
The
team
fight's
on
not
his
over
back.
yet. Kepri gets his ult off, but Kepri will fall down. Wishy in the back, threatening 2 backliners, but not enough damage. Kepri ult is good, and this is a revive Death the King, but it just delays the inevitable. Wishy's is just the last man standing, and that should be a free gold fury, maybe even a free fire.
Let's say they maybe should just run straight to fire here.
Great fight by the Kappas here. Just, you know, great discipline to just wait it out. You know, you lose. You don't even lose someone early on, but you know you got some low health bars early on. You just like, all right, let's back up. Let's not fight under the towers. Let's just, you know, bait them into the fight. You know, they don't know where our Pele is. So just really good positioning and team fight awareness by this Kappa's team.
So the T1 tower was cheesed and Gary was the mousetrap, and Kelly just decided to just
got baited.
Their trap. They got baited.
They got baited. I was waiting for that analogy to make a turn. I think that's my favorite bubble analogy. But now with, you know, 25 minutes coming in, this is where the fire giants fights start, and this is where, you know, you could be down, you know, say, I don't know, 6k gold, and your game could just be completely changed if, you know, one fight around this objective goes well. You know, that's your way back into this game if you're the Succubi's roster, and you have better secure than them. Even this Yupong secure is not great, but it's better than what this.
I don't know about that actually. Cernunnos ult does bonus damage to OBJs.
Does it do both? I know it does damage to it, but does it do bonus damage?
It may not, but I still think it still does a bit more damage.
How much does it? It's 400. I don't think
Yeah,
it's... No, Yu-Huang button hits for way more. What do you mean?
Yeah, but it's still some.
A Yu-Huang button hits for like 800.
Yeah, but you can't walk up to it. It zones the entire objective. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the Yu-Huang doesn't have to be in the objective. They just
Yeah, but that's what Emoja ult's for.
Me.
I'm just saying. Alright, my bad.
Exactly. See, Wishy actually getting a huge knockup there, but not a whole lot off of it. This Pele burst is starting to come in a little bit. Gary's at half health. Wishy's also at half health, but Bulwark does proc off. Wild Hunt comes out onto 2. Ishtar Beats come out, Cthulhu's up into ultimate. And now we will see Deathly King a little bit too far up and gets picked off for it, while the Succubi regroup and kind of lick their wounds after that bad fight, but not done yet. It's only going to get bad to worse, but instead, Kappa is looking towards the Fire Giant now. And, you know, I don't think they have a whole lot of chance to steal here. I think that this burn from Kappa's is just, you know, too immense. Actually, it is. Okay, yeah, I want to make sure that Gundar was on the side of the map. Didn't want to... But, oh, I was going to say, if Kepri 2 takes it.
Kepri does not do half the health bar of Fire Giant, though.
Only Pyromancer. It's only a Pyromancer thing. But we see that Kappa's actually pushing the objective. Skull getting in there. And Skull should be able to pick up this kill onto Crazy, but just a little bit off distance for the auto attack to land. But the Cthulhu and the Trebuchet being best friends in that solo side of the map. Tier 1 and mid does go down here. And looking for a tier 2 as well. Dumbo a little bit pushed up at them. A little bit good poke onto Gary. You know, good Yu Huang half health right there. And with that, they'll be looking to back off this a little bit.
Flankaroonie here.
Yeah, this could come up so big, but now they know he's here, so he kind of has to reunite with everyone. But other than that, just them looking towards Pyromancer, but that should be about it. But Sash actually goes back onto Penguin, but it's Cthulhu. Also, the Cthulhu build is better, I will say. The Genji's of last game is now Bulwark, which is like the perfect item there. It's just so hard to kill a Cthulhu while he has that, but Wishy pushes up into the Cthulhu, does a little bit of damage, but like it's a Cthulhu. Stop beating the Cthulhu. It's not.
You gotta get them damage numbers up.
He's at 60. The Cthulhu's out damaging him by 2 damage.
That's why you had to whack him.
But no, he's okay. There we go. Now he's officially out damaged. But we actually see initiation onto Wishy on this left side of the map. Dumbo actually gets picked for it, but Gundar is awfully low. And
Nice
Death getting rezzed by the Kefriel, but that also means that Gundar just happens to live there. And now, you know, Fire, 28 minutes, where you start to really look at this, you know, this left side of the map now. But if I'm not mistaken, someone is in mid right there. I think that might be Gary. Yep, Gary gets picked off just alone.
Yeah, Gary looking like a snail right now. Getting picked off by an old lady and making
I mean, it's just like he's alone up there, and he knows that there's going to be, you know, 3 around there. Maybe just looking to clean up Death, but just too little, too late at that point. Really questionable engage or really questionable positioning right there on Gary. But I still think that, you know, you fire on your double ADC. This is where you look for this left side of the map.
Yeah, there's no other way to tell it. That's a throw by Gary. Gary's just throwing. He's out here.
The best Gary, more like the best thrower.
For real, the throw Gary.
The throw Gary. I don't know. I think the best thrower is better. Like, I mean, it's like.
Yeah, but you also like cranberries, so like.
Cranberries are good. I will not dignify this cranberry slander. Okay? Cranberries are great, and you know what else is great? This Primal Fury that Kappas are looking at the moment.
Primal Fury is often called useless by most of the players.
I don't want to dignify the Cranberry slander, so I will go to anything else. Skull picks up the scepter. Huge pickups. Kefri looking for the steal. But way too late on the buttons there. No shot for the, you know, the nuke that is Kefriel, or not Kefriel, Kefri 3 to, you know, quite steal away that projector.
Your Fire Giant with Kefriel.
Listen, it's the cold medicine. That's what I'm blame it on. Any mistake I make on cast today, blame it on cold medicine.
No.
But we see that, you know, the Succubi team still aren't afraid to, you know, maybe strip away some of this farm, even though it is a 13k gold lead inside of Kappa's. But initiation onto Gary, looking to pick him off again, but Sash is just off the mark to secure it. Gary just needs to not just stop getting caught. Stop getting caught.
Okay, but initiation here.
We actually will see the team fight break out. Koyi gets a little bit of damage off, but it's a little bit of standing area. Penguin does go in. Cthulhu on the back line here.
Triple
Huge three-man
knockup.
lockup.
This
And
fight should automatically be over.
The
Terrible
Yellow
emotional.
Yellows don't really catch anything. Another three-man knockup. Gary is now back in this fight. Doesn't have ult, but has a beautiful initiation onto this Yufeng. Aegis does come out from him, but he's able to pick up Death with the help of Gundar. Gundar getting another kill onto Wishy. And then we will see this Kefri fall down as well. Skull grabbing his 5th kill of the game, the Undying Sononos. And now Fire's just about to spawn as well. But it looks like Dumbo is on the menu. Gundar getting a triple kill. And Skull,
he just needs the end.
Skull
now.
hunting,
He's going
Skull
for the
looking.
goon.
But Bramble Bash just a little bit off the mark. Skull just hunting, you know. Really, he really is the living up to the ultimate, the wild hunt. He is looking to hunt for these kills, making him.
That damn Witcher game.
What?
The Wild Hunt is not a Witcher game.
I would not know. I just know that that's the Cernal ability. But we actually see them looking towards the Soul Side Phoenix, to really just get that immediate capitalization off. Two are still down for this Succubi roster, double ADC. They just shred through stuff like that. And it looks like that they're not done. They want more. They want this mid Phoenix now. And with this Succubi roster now regrouping finally. Wishy blinks in onto the backline there, and a team fight comes out. Yemawals are able to section off the fight a little bit, but not really finding a whole lot of value off there. And Succubi are able to defend against that Phoenix Siege, and by the looks of it, they're on the chase. They're after it. But now both teams resetting, and now it looks like that this Kappa's roster wants the most valuable Phoenix in the game. Now they're looking for this dual-side Phoenix. And
this is like the LeBron James of Phoenixes, not like the. See, this Phoenix knows ball.
This isn't the college or high school basketballs of Phoenixes. This is the big league of Phoenixes. If you get this Phoenix, it makes your game a whole lot easier to do, especially if you have 2 Phoenixes down, because it really just makes it so you get to whenever you want, you win any kind of fight. Like, you could be winning a fight at your Phoenix, and if 2 Phoenixes are down, you're just able to walk up and end the game. And now we're just looking at a little bit of the start of an engage, but nothing really concrete yet. A little bit of damage onto Wishy. Really trying to get
this red team's too scared. Just walk up.
Yeah, they have Cthulhu as well. They have Cthulhu ult.
Honestly, you should have already walled somebody off.
Well, I mean, Yamosha does not have ult up quite yet. Now the ult is finally back
and
up.
Now it's up. Now walk up.
And now that's when we see them walk up. Gundar actually getting a pick onto Wishy, and 4v5. This is going from bad to worse. Cthulhu links in onto Death King with Barry. But Kefriel is better and able to keep Death alive even for just a moment. This Cthulhu still walking in. Wild Hunt onto Dumbo is good. Death still following to the Cthulhu. Gundar getting picked off by Crazy in the back, but it's just way too little, way too late. Crazy getting picked off, and with a lone Kefri to defend, I think that's the game. I think that's the set, and it will be a Kappas, Food Fighters, whatever you want to call them, a 2-0.
You can call them winners, Charlie, because that's what they just did.
Yeah. And looking very good while doing it. Very clean game too. The only person who was on a little bit of an into mode was Gary, but it just happens sometimes, really.
That's because Gary's lame.
Gary is lame. We hate Gary on this show, but the worst Gary. Gundar really putting out the numbies, and not Gundar, Skull putting out the numbies here, and it's just, I don't know how you beat this comp. You just have to draft. You have to really win the game and pick some bans against this comp, because once again they didn't have a whole lot to shred this Cthulhu other than this Ishtar, and this Ishtar isn't always going to be able to do that cleanly because there's a Pele on you as well with it. And once again, just going crit into it is not going to be. I don't think that's the way to get rid of this Cthulhu. You have to just burst it down with pen. And what are your closing thoughts about this game, this set, this match?
I think that this blue team needs to take good go back to the drawing board, maybe play some more games together. Because if they don't clean up their act and work better as a team, I think they will not have a great season.
Mhm.
And this blue team, well, they're playing sloppy, but at least they're playing together sloppy.
They're playing to get, really power friendships, and plus it's week 1. They're developing their synergies. I think that this will be a fun matchup to possibly revisit later down the road. Maybe a little bit of a rematch, possibly. I don't know. You'll just have to tune in next time for Cryptic Zoo
Dragon Ball.
League. Nope, Cryptic Zoo Smite League. Thank you guys for watching,
I'm
and
Bubble.
I'm iCharlie, and have a great night.
myself a goth girl and she bad. She got the fucking dogs and some pistons just to match. Bad Betty, edges of the